Did you hear anything about this new documentary that premiered at South by?
Yeah,
Age of
the Age of
Disclosure.
Disclosure. Yeah. They had
Yeah.
34 top officials. Now, here's another example. I don't think that this film's going to move the needle at all. None of these films do. But why would these 34 guys come out? Karl Nell, retired colonel, why does he have to come out and say, by the way, I saw this? What's the upside for him? Is he going to make a few bucks on a podcast somewhere? No. I mean, come on. To me, it's just another brick in the wall of moving this forward. I feel like it's a good thing that this is going to come out. I hope it gets a major distribution and a lot of people see it. And these are credible people. And at least the problem we have is, most of these documentaries are sort of made on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they're just some guy. It's hard. They might be real. It might be true, but it's hard to, I can imagine people outside the community really struggling with believing that. But when you look at the credentials of these people, that's a pretty compelling argument and makes it stronger for some reason coming from these people. All 34 of these people have pretty top credentials. And I think that's a really good thing. And I hope that it opens the eyes to some other people to take us more seriously. Why would all these guys say this? Are they what? Do you think they're making money on this? Nobody's making any money in this. We're not making any money in this. People that think that they're doing this to sell books or whatever, that's just nonsense.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I actually am quite optimistic about the documentary than I am with other ones, just because I think look at it. It's like a premiere slot at South by. Tickets were so hard to come. It was the talk of the town, essentially. I used to live in Austin. I ran a food truck and catering business there for almost a decade. I used to work South by for Showtime for many years, and the Recording Academy, the Grammys. And everyone I was talking to was like, dude, everybody is talking about this thing.
Even
and
just the trailer.
It was just
millions of hits. So this is definitely a big deal in that sense. Absolutely.
It's bleeding into the main, you know what I mean? Like, it's bleeding
100%.
into voices that, let's say you're not into this topic, you watch particular shows or whatever. A voice you trust all of a sudden talks about a thing, a new thing. You're going to trust that a little bit more. That, you know what I mean? If you just run on some YouTube channel, you see some loco like me doing a, UFO video, like, who's this guy? But all of a sudden, coming from a voice you trust that they don't normally talk about that all of a sudden piques your interest. And I think this film has that capability to kind of, break
agree
into
100%.
some of these molds.
I guess what I was speaking to was it's not going to come out and 2 weeks later the whole country's going to believe.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's not going to bring disclosure.
No. And in 2001 they had the Disclosure Project with Dr. Greer and others. And man, if you ever interview those guys or see interviews by them, they're all like, we literally thought the next day the world would all know about this and be a different place. And that didn't happen. And I'm just saying that that's not going to happen with this film either. Now, will it open some eyebrows or will it change some things? I hope to God, and I don't see why it wouldn't. I think it's really great because now you can, I think it gives us something to point to. Oh, really? You think Karl Nell's making this up for comedy? Is this guy seem like a hoaxer to you? You know what I mean? And any of these guys, Jim, what's his name? The general.
Clapper.
Clapper. I don't think this guy's told a joke in the last 40 years. Have you seen that guy? That's a serious guy, man. Coming out of my mouth could be anything, but James Clapper is here to tell you the facts, ma'am. Sure. And I think that if he says it, he means it. And I think that will hopefully bring some credibility, as did the New York Times article, as did the 60 Minutes piece, that it made people that wouldn't have looked at that. Oh, I saw this on 60 Minutes. It's credible. Yeah. I read this in the New York Times. It's credible. Same thing here. I think, I saw this and it had these people in it. I should take it serious. I hope that that's the result. And I think that will be the result. I hope it gets a wide distribution and I hope a lot of people see it because I think that does have that potential. I just don't think, it's going to change overnight like we would think. Some people hope.
Yeah, or hope. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I think it'll be like the quintessential documentary for a little while. Like it's serious, got all these people, 34 government officials who had worked with UAP, and scientists. Like, yeah, it has this air of credibility to sort of give to someone who's outside of this community and say, watch this. Oh, okay, look at this thing. It's shot well. That's what I heard.
And the
From all the
trailer
interviews.
does, they have them saying it's not like this speculative thing. Well, what we think, or I've heard by the water cooler. I saw the bodies. I saw
Yeah,
the craft. I saw the.
correct.
That's what I want. I always want first person accounts. That was the
Yeah, me
problem
too.
with Grush.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, well, I heard somebody talking about this. That's a secondhand thing. It's not as strong. The great thing
sure.
here is these are firsthand witnesses, and that's really, really strong.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of firsthand witnesses, there's probably, I would imagine, a lot of the speakers are as well that are going to be at contact, right?
Well, we have more. Yeah, we have some. Absolutely. Whitley Strieber, people
Yeah.
like that are legendary guys. And then we have, people that study these things that aren't
Yeah.
necessarily firsthand. George Knapp.
Oh,
I mean, what a
sure.
great researcher that guy is. I love Knapp.
Absolutely. Yeah, for
Danny
sure.
Sheehan, he's looked at all. He's not one of these witnesses, but he has. I think he knows a lot of stuff. Richard Dolan. Look how much research he's
Yeah.
done. These guys. These are the guys that really dug into the material, and I think they have a lot to offer.
Oh, couldn't agree more, man. Yeah, Danny Sheehan, I've interviewed twice on the channel. Cannot wait to meet him in person. Richard, I just interviewed for the first time yesterday, and we were talking about contacts. So yeah, I cannot wait to meet him. Yeah, I think more people should go to these type of conferences that are in the topic, because it's just such a different experience to be in person, right? Again, like we said, and see these things. The filter is so different from online, right? Now there's this in-person filter, and it's just so much different.